Hi there, and thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be looking at lesson 11.5, similar figures, and today we're going to be looking at specifically 9 things to write down in our notes today. Before we started this video in class, you watched a quick video on BrainPop, and I'm going to link that in the bottom of this video, so you can go ahead and watch that too if you weren't with us in class. But we're going to go and get started with our notes. The first thing we're going to write down are what are similar figures and what do they need to have. So similar figures have the same shape but not necessarily the same size. You also have corresponding sides that are proportional in similar figures, and the corresponding angles are congruent or equal. Okay, so your side lengths, they have to be an equivalent fraction to one another, so they're simplified. Your angles are equal, and so that way you would be able to tell your figures are similar. This is the symbol for similar as well, if you wanted to jot that down too. Let's go ahead and take time now to pause the video so you can write down what similar figures are and what they need to have. Make sure you also write down these two things with corresponding sides and angles, and once you're done, click play to try another question. So this one you're going to try on your own first, and I want to see if you can figure out first how to figure out similar figures. So let's go ahead and pause the video now so you can see your answer for number 2, and once you're done, click play to check your work. Okay, so the one that's similar to rectangle A is rectangle C. The reason is because if you take 3 to 6 and you compare it to 2 to 4, they're both halves. You could also cross multiply. 3 times 4 is 12, and 6 times 2 is also 12, and that means that they are proportional. We learned this back in chapter 5. Because they're proportional, you would say yes, they are similar, or these two are similar together. Okay, so this is probably cross multiplying is probably the easiest way that you can figure out if something is similar. You just have to make sure that you're pairing up the correct sides together. Okay, so I'm going to get you to try these 4 on your own. Let's go ahead and again pause the video now, and once you're done, click play to check your work, explaining why you're reasoning, so you maybe can say I cross multiplied and they're proportional. Alright, so number 3 should have been easy to see. They are similar. If you set up your proportion, 12 over 12, 4 over 4, cross multiply, you both get 48 on either side. So we would say yes, they are. Okay, number 4 looks a little bit different. Okay, what I did first is took 5 over 12 and 7 over 15 and then cross multiplied. I know that 12 times 7 is going to give me 84, but then 5 times 15 gives me 75. These are not similar because they're not proportional. Okay, number 5 you can solve the same way. 8 over 10 and 12 over 15. I know 8 times 15 is 120, and so is 10 times 12. So yes, these would be similar. And then again here for number 6, I can say 6 over 4 and 18 over 12. I know 6 times 12 is 72, and 4 times 18 is also 72. So this one is also yes, because they are proportional. So yes, no, yes, yes for 3, 4, 5, and 6. The next part we're going to talk about is whenever we're trying to find a missing side on similar figures, and we're still going to use proportions here, except now we're going to be solving for a missing piece. So how you would set this up is you could say 6 over 8 is equal to 9 over x. Notice I used the same placement for the measurements. I don't want to mix them up. Okay, I'm going to start cross multiplying. 8 times 9 is 72, and 6 times x is 6x, and then divide both sides by 6. I get x is equal to 12. Okay, one more way you can try this too is you can do corresponding sides. So you can do 6 to 9 is equal to 8 to x. So this is also another way you can do it, and it still will work out the same way. 6 times x, 8 times 9, divide both sides by 6, you still get 12. A lot of people, though, stick with this first way I showed you, just because you want to stay with the numbers that are on the same shape. So let's go ahead and try a few. This is number 7. Let's go ahead and pause the video now so you could try it on your own. Once you're done, click play to check your work. Alright, so how I set this one up is I did 6 over x and 9 over 6. I know 6 times 6 times 6 is going to give me 36, and x times 9 is 9x. Dividing both sides by 9, x will be equal to 4 feet. Oops. 4 feet it is. Next one, let's go ahead and try this one too. Again, let's pause the video before we try it, and then click play when you're ready to check. Okay, so how I set this one up was I did 14 over x and 7 over 12. Then I cross multiplied. So I'm going to take 14 times 12, and that's going to give me 168, and then 7 times x is 7x, and then just take 168 and divide by 7. I know 7 can go to 16 two times with, let's see, 4 left over, or 2 left over, and then 7 goes into 28 4 times with nothing left over. So my answer here, x will be equal to 24. Okay? Another thing too, notice how 7 increases to 14. It was 7 times 2, so 12 times 2 will also give you your x. Last one, let's go ahead and try this one. Again, similar figures, solving for missing sides. Let's go ahead and pause the video now so you can try it, and once you're done, click play. Alright, so how I set this one up is I did 12 inches over 15 is equal to h over 3.75. The first thing I'm going to do is take 12 and multiply by 3.75, and I'm going to get 45, and then 15 times h is 15h. Divide both sides by 15, and h is equal to 3 inches. Okay? That's all we have for today, so just make sure you have your 9 things written in your notes. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.